When God created the world, He created animals, He created plants, and every other creature. And God created these two things to be symbiotic to each other. How does this come about? We human beings, we usually get a lot of medicine from the plants. We usually get a lot of food from the plants. Yes? And also, these plants, they usually get oxygen excreted by the human being. So God balanced the world fully. In today's video, I'm going to show you something. This is known as the Mexican sunflower. This sunflower over here, this plant which grows naturally here in Africa. And what is the benefit of this plant? For example, here in Kenya, most people when they are planting their maize, they usually need fertilizer to be able to make their plants grow. And what kind of fertilizer do these human beings usually need? These plants, the maize. They usually need the fertilizer known as NPK. And this is able to make that fertilizer. If you are using this, you'll be able to make organic fertilizer from this, the green compost fertilizer from this plant, the Mexican sunflower. And also, you're wondering why I am in the bush today and I am not in the poultry house. Yes, you can see over there is the poultry house. But I only want to show you and tell you why you should not lose a lot of your money in buying of the drugs of the chicken. For example, if you want to deworm your chicken, you can use the chemical medicine. And what is the type of chemical medicine that you can use in deworming your chicken? First of all, there's a drug known as piperazine citrate, BP. That drug is a chemical drug that can be used to deworm your chicken. And what else can we use to deworm our chicken organically from the nature occurring in our environment? You can see how lush and green this place is. What kind of thing can we use in deworming our chicken? Do you know what? It is already provided by God. And you know what that is? It is known as garlic. When you crush the garlic and you give it to your chicken, and you add some kind of apple cider vinegar that has the mother in it, it will be able to deworm your chicken. Meaning, for every chemical drug that is available in the market, there is also an organic chemical, an organic plant that can be able to treat the same disease in a poultry farm. The only problem is that most of us human beings, we usually lack the proper knowledge. And there is also this notion whereby people usually tell you something. They tell you a lie for a very long time. After they have told you the lie for a very long time, you end up thinking that the lie is the truth. And when someone comes and tells you the facts, the truth, you end up thinking that the truth is what is the lie. So in this world, make sure that your brain is open-minded. Because if you are open-minded, you'll be able to know a lot of things and how the world works. So that is one thing. And also, another thing, for example, if you want to treat this disease known as coccidiosis in your poultry flock. Today I'm in a calm environment and I really like this calm environment. But we're heading there to the poultry house so that I can be able to show you the progress of the chicken on our poultry farm. Because most of these animals, they usually have the chemical part and also the organic part. For example, if your chicken are affected by the coccidiosis I have said, you can either decide to treat it with the chemical drug Amprolium HCl, or you can decide to use the Carica papaya leaves, the pawpaw leaves. I'm looking around whereby I want to spot a pawpaw tree, but I think you can see it over there. I want to show you so that you can be able to see it. Let me just point it out so that you can be able look over here. This above this banana plantation, that is a pawpaw tree. If you are using the pawpaw leaves of that tree, you'll be able to treat coccidiosis on your poultry farm. Meaning, you don't need to use a lot of money on the purchase of the chemical drug. You can use that. And for the last thing before I go, I want to tell you something. A long time ago in our village, there was this very old lady. She ended up, she was using these leaves. Every evening, I usually found her plucking the leaves of these Mexican sunflower. And to my knowledge, I really never knew why she was really plucking these. You know, the better part with these, they are able to be fed to the chicken, yes? You know, the better part with the chicken is that, you know, the chicken don't have these taste buds. So even if this thing usually tastes a little sour, the chicken can be able to consume it. But the only bad part, it has the protein in it. It's something very nutritious to the chicken. But the only bad part with this is that it has high crude fiber. The crude fiber that is needed by the chicken in the feed is only 7%. If it is for 100 grams, you only need like 7 grams of crude fiber. Why am I saying that you don't need a lot of crude fiber in the diet of the chicken? You don't need a lot of crude fiber in the diet of the chicken, because if your chicken end up having a lot of crude fiber, this can lead to your chicken developing something known as a sour crop. And a sour crop can only be solved by you being able to give your chicken curdled milk, and it comes from the animal. If you give it curdled milk, it will be able to remove you know what I'm talking about? You will be able to remove the sour crop from the chicken. The sour crop is whereby the crude fiber comes into the crop of the chicken, and then it gets stuck over there over a long time. Then the food starts to ferment there. So that is what is called sour crop. So if you give it curdled milk, you'll be able to solve it. So let's get back to that story of that old lady. So that old lady kept on eating these. Every evening you will find her plucking these with aloe vera. Then what she will do, she will go into her house, then she will crush them together, then she'll drink the sap from the mixture of these with aloe vera. So I really wondered, why was this old lady, not young, this old lady plucking these things over and over and eating them? And the funny thing, can you guess the years of this lady that she had lived? Maybe this, I don't know, I don't have any scientific proof, but that lady was able to stay up to 107 years old. That is when she passed away. 107 years. So meaning, most of these organic plants and trees around the world, they are able to solve your problem on your poultry farm. So if you really want to make a lot of money in the poultry industry, make sure you really know what you are doing. Let's head into the poultry house. So now we are in our poultry house. You can see how the chicken are growing on very uniformly. You see? We were able to deworm them yesterday. And why am I insisting that you should be able to deworm your chicken? You know, this chicken, if you are not able to deworm your chicken, this chicken can end up getting flukes in the liver, and this can cause sudden death. Or if your chicken have a lot of worms in the body, they will end up consuming a lot of food, and yet they are consuming a lot of food, and yet you can't see the difference in the growth of the chicken. And that is what we want to avoid. We want the chicken to grow up properly and be very active for us to have a profitable venture. So as I was talking about the organic remedies of various diseases in this world, because there's this video that I posted, the benefit of aloe vera to your chicken. I think that video is why most of you people know me. And that video, I really explained the benefit of aloe vera, the various benefits of aloe vera to your chicken. If you haven't watched that video, make sure guys you watch it out. So that is the Carica papaya over there, the pawpaw tree. You can see it now very properly. I want to zoom it. You can see it. So that is the pawpaw tree. It is over there. That is it. So that is what I told you. It will be able to cure and prevent coccidiosis from attacking your poultry farm. So that is another remedy. Also, if you really want to watch that video of the benefits of pawpaw leaves to your chicken, make sure you watch it, because it will be able to tell you more about the various organic things and the various organic treatments for your chicken. And also, there is this disease. That's why I say there are some lies that people usually tell you for a longer time. Then you think those lies are the truth. Because as for me, I never knew that you can be able to cure Newcastle disease. Newcastle disease is a very funny disease because it has different strains. But there is this organic treatment whereby if you are able to mix a variety of these plants, the portions and the best ratios, you'll be able to control that infection on your farm. And why am I saying this? I'm not saying this out of the blues. I was able to do this. But the only disclaimer that I will give you is that it ends up reoccurring later. That Newcastle disease. But let me now, give me time, I explain. So what I usually do so that you can be able to cure that disease like the Newcastle disease, if it has attacked your flock and maybe it is mild in form, because you know it's something in the chicken body known as antibodies that are able to fight the virus. So that disease, that virus, can I say the Newcastle virus, when it attacks the chicken nervous system, it makes the chicken become very weak and it starts removing the green poop, green with some whitish line in it. So the concoction that I usually used was a mixture of ginger, garlic, aloe vera, oregano, rosemary, plus lemon extract, the juice from the lemon. So how am I able to administer this to my chicken? So what I was doing, I took those things, then I crushed them all together. Then I was able to extract the juice from the lemon. What you do, you don't take that concoction, then you pour it in water. What you do, you isolate this chicken, then you give it feed. If it is able to feed, then this concoction will only help the antibodies to be able to fight the virus. So if you are able to make that concoction, then you take that concoction and make sure you give every chicken one by one. It's a painstaking, slow process, but you want to save your chicken, you have to isolate those very sick chicken, then you give it that concoction. That concoction with only feeds, without the presence of water. Why am I saying this? The lemon extract will act as water. When that gets into the body of the chicken, it will be able to solve that problem. Because on my farm, I did that a long time ago. I did that. It attacked like around 15 chicken on my farm, and I was able to save 9 out of the 15 chicken. So why am I saying this? It is something that you can prevent through using the vaccine, but you can also be able to control it. For example, you don't let all the chicken just go. If it has attacked your farm and you can be able to get some knowledge, some little knowledge like this, you can be able to save 9 out of 15. That is over 50%. If you're able to save over 50% of your flock over such a deadly disease that can clear out the whole flock, that is a very big win for you. So guys, if you really want to save a lot of money in the poultry industry, in the poultry drugs, make sure you watch my videos of how you'll be able to treat most of the diseases organically. And I have various videos of how you can be able to treat those diseases. And also for those guys that haven't watched the common chicken diseases for your birds, make sure you click up here.